Why most businesses struggle with lead generation and how AI fixes it for good.
So if you have a lead flow, well, rather, if your lead flow is unpredictable, then you don't have a sales problem. You actually have a systems problem.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tumai. I'm known as the AI architect.
And I'm Audrey. I help businesses with AI solutions that are in the health and wellness space.
Many small to medium businesses often struggle with, and I can attest to this, given that I've been running two businesses as well over the last sort of 10 years. The first struggle that you hit is going to be lead generation. And it's not because of the offer or the product or the fact that the service isn't valuable. Much rather, the real problem lies in the fact that it fails to bring in leads consistently or reliably. And without a steady stream of, say, prospects or potential leads, revenue becomes very difficult and becomes very unpredictable and almost impossible to plan for growth and stability. Some of the first places that we need to look for in running our small business when we launch is how are we going to get more and more customers engaged in conversations, and how are we going to get that consistently. Um, I often think of a little bit of a story that I was coaching and consulting with when I would work with business owners, and I would think about it in terms of a village. And back in the day, back in the olden days, right? Villagers would go get water using, a bar over your back with two buckets on the side, and you would go collect water, bring it back to the village. Often the walk would take 2 to 3 hours, so you would have to leave in the morning at 4 or 5 a.m. so that when people get up, there's at least some water, a mouthful or so, available for you to drink. Now, that's one system to be able to get leads. And a lot of the time, business owners treat marketing in that way, where they would have a whole bunch of leads come in at the start of the year, right? We move into February, and right now, as we record this, we're going from February to March. A lot of the time, you get a lot of leads and an influx of business, and you're having many sales conversations, many follow ups, and many emails. And then when you go to get your you move into the middle of the year. There's this dry
Drought.
spell of drought, and that's because of a few reasons. People are going to start lodging their tax returns and their tax positions. They're often holding on to what they need to report on, or perhaps they're trying to influence their expenses. So when it comes to B2B, that middle of the year starts to become a really difficult, trying place to be. So what's the solution? Well, if you were in a village, the best technology that you could deploy would be a pump system and a pipe that would go and be built all the way to the water source, and you could pick up the water and bring it to the village consistently and reliably. That means, in village terms, that when I put a little bit of muscle into the lever and I start pushing up and down, after a little bit of time, it actually just starts to naturally push and create pressure and draw water without much effort. That is what we would relate to as leverage in business. It would take less effort, less muscle to be able to generate the same amount of water into the village. Well, likewise in business, the same is true. Are we able to sit down and have a high level macro strategy conversation about your business, the channels in which it generates leads, how it does that? Can we measure that with metrics or with a
Mhm.
dashboard? And are we now able to, based on the numbers, make decisions as to where we should focus on? Can we automate that process? Can somebody like other staff members continue to do that process while I'm not in the business? And then eventually it becomes a conversation of, okay, that standard procedure of generating leads is there and people are repeating it and it's great. How can I get AI or an automation behind that to enhance, improve, or strengthen that system? So, for the opening kind of conversation around AI and leads, I really want to peel it back and bring it back to how leads should be generated and thinking about the system in place.
Mhm.
And then we can really address why AI is so amazing at
Mhm.
being able to plug on some technology that's going to pump that
Yeah.
lever to bring in water. Like, say, when the rooster or the hen calls and says, "Oh, it's morning,
The
it's
rooster.
4 a.m." Then instantly somebody realizes, "Oh, I got to start getting the water ready for everybody." That's almost like an AI approach to business. What are your
Right.
thoughts?
Yeah, so it's just a modern day way of leveraging the technology that we have in this era. Yeah, to bring
What's
water to the village.
what's your experience been with generating leads?
Oh boy, very manual. Using the old-fashioned way on social media, manually posting content and manually responding to DMs or comments or inquiries, and really nurturing them in a private message or meeting them in person. So it's really, really manual task, and also through word of mouth, right? Yeah.
Sure, sure. And now looking back, what would you do differently?
If I had known how to use systems and automation, then I wouldn't have to keep repeating the same mundane, repetitive tasks every single day. And as much as I love spending time with people, it gets really tiring when you're inundated with all the manual tasks. So it'd be amazing to clone myself, so to speak, to do the manual, repetitive stuff, so that I can free my time to nurture those relationships that are really important, those prospects that are really interested. You know, to be able to say, "Oh, I'm going to spend my time here because I have more time. I'm going to spend it here where I know these are the prospects that are the most valuable."
Yeah, that's a great perspective. I think for Audrey, given that she's been in the health and wellness space as an aromatherapist, a lot of her emphasis and focus is her ability to be with people in workshops, mixing essential oils and teaching. So
Yeah.
that's where all of her presence is put. So if she had the right follow up system and automated AI technology plugged in, not only would you see more people attending the workshops, but you'd also see a higher conversion rate because there would be reminders and
Yeah.
emails and text messages
Exactly.
being sent out to celebrate,
Yeah.
to engage and appreciate their attendance at the workshop.
Exactly. And I could be so much more present because I remember so clearly that even when I'm at the workshop, I'm so concerned that there's going to be people that can't find where the workshop is. And I'm on my phone looking and making sure that I'm responding to every text. It was crazy.
Right, right. So why inconsistent lead generation also equals inconsistent revenue? Number one, slow follow-ups and you lose leads. Did you know that 78% of customers buy from a company that follows up first? Yet most of the
Incredible.
businesses take too long to respond to inquiries.
Yeah.
The longer you wait, the colder the lead becomes.
And it's not that they want to take that long. They just can't get across it all in time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The reason number two is that we have missed opportunities due to the manual process or the manual nature of things. Many small businesses rely on manual lead capture, manual lead outreach to
Yeah.
processing human errors. The process itself
Yeah.
can fall on a lot of errors.
It's very natural for people to fall through the cracks that way. And it's happened to me many times. And I don't notice until way later. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I didn't respond.
What about the topic on ROI, return on investment? A lot of the times when I talk to business owners, they just say, oh, I worked with X marketing company, whatever it be, insert the next marketing company name here. And I just didn't get the return that I was looking for the money that I put in. And we're talking, we're absolutely talking
That
about
happens.
wasted ad spend
Yep.
without lead nurturing. We spent so much money up front, so much emphasis to get the details, to get the lead, to get the awareness, to generate credibility and social awareness. Yet in the back end, there's no follow up. There's no
Yeah.
lead nurturing. There's no engagement. There's no process to send a text message, to book a phone call, to talk to them about their next goal that perhaps they shared with us.
Yeah, it's
None
such
of
a
it.
good point because it's actually easier to keep existing customers than it is to get new customers.
That's right. That's right. The last one is that we have a one size fits all marketing approach, meaning that customers expect personalization, but sending them the same generic email and the same generic sales pitch and not being able to tailor the conversation based on them. This has more to do with also our listening skills
Yeah.
with the pains and the problems, that's for sure. But I feel as if that the follow up and being able to track the entire conversation, having a system that can take notes down on what the goal that they mentioned 6 months ago. And then when the conversation starts off, the AI can read that that was their goal, re-engage, remind them that this is what you shared with us. How is that going? Can we help you toward that goal? That's something that not many humans actually remember unless you spend the time to go through the notes before the call.
Right.
details matter.
Yep. That's right.
So let's talk about how AI powered chat or even voice agents can really solve those lead generation challenges. Again, this is off the premise that you've had an entire macro strategy conversation about how you want to turn on all of the lead generation channels. Forget about the 101 ways to market. Forget about the 100 and 201 ways to generate leads on social media, and forget about the 301 ways to put a viral headline in the title in order to get a conversation. Forget about that. What I'm saying is that there are 4 channels: warm, cold, social media posting content, which is free, and then paid ads. Out of those 4, how does AI serve as almost a catalyst or a delivery system to enhance the experience and enhance the results in all 4 of those channels? That's what's key in this conversation. So number 1, AI engages with leads instantly, 24/7. They don't take breaks. Not only that, the AI can be trained to engage with conversation contextually, meaning analyze the conversation, the comment, the DM, or the information that we have on the customer profile, and engage and enhance the experience by talking to the customer about things that are relatable to them.
Yeah, I love that how you can train it or instruct it to respond in a certain tone or a certain style that matches your values or the company ethos.
Let's talk about number 2, which is lead qualification. Being able to have a system involved where you would qualify a lead based on their purchasing power, let's call it borrowing capacity for finance mortgage people. I've got a booking. I'm speaking to somebody who's a finance broker, I think next week. What about the way that we qualify when it comes to what they're purchasing in real estate? That conversation, although is very important to have at a human to human level, a lot of the time people just want to quickly get information off, and the AI chat or voice can take the booking and connect you with, or the potential lead with, the right expert. That little gap there saves money and it saves time to ensure that the salesperson, if you're listening, sales guys, I know you just want to talk to the person out of the 10 leads. There's probably one person that's going to buy today. You want to talk to just that one person. You don't want to talk to the other 9 people. I get it. And that's most business owners. So lead qualification, really, really important in terms of information and being able to manage the pipeline and talk to the right people at the right time that are ready to buy your product or service.
Wow. But saving you a lot of time. Yep.
Number 3, we've got nurturing prospects. This is really in the department of how to keep more customers or how to increase conversion rate. So there's 2 aspects of it: nurturing the conversation before the salesperson, or even the follow-up after the sales conversation. They're still deciding, they're undecided, they need to go to a decision maker, another decision person. It's not the right timing. What if we could automate and nurture that conversation?
I love that. So basically touch points. Yeah.
What is it, 12 times you have to touch
Well,
customer?
it used to be 7, but maybe it's more now because just how the market has changed.
I think the last one that you're going to really see a lot of research and development teams or the analytics behind would be the AI being able to predict buying behavior for better targeting. That's something that's going to come out very soon, if not already. And I think these areas is what we need to talk about and keep the conversation central and focus when it comes to how to view AI, but how to use it inside of business. And it's not that AI just comes in and takes over your entire business. We have to deploy it with the right timing, the right phase, staged approach perhaps. We have to watch, retrain, rework some of the errors, make sure that the process is correct. Again, bottom line is that you need a process or a system standardized, an SOP put in place that we can build upon and plug AI on the top of that and automations.
It's amazing.
Thanks so much for joining us on this video. On the next video, we're going to be talking about another article on how AI can help you scale without adding any more work, without trading any more time. It sounds impossible and it sounds crazy, But I really look forward to having that conversation with you. My name's Tumai,
And I'm Audrey.
and we'll speak to you on the next video.
See you then.